Alrighty, we are back for more Morpho. We are on page 65. So we're taking off, we're continuing the arm section. So it says here, from elbow to wrist on the side of the little finger, the ulna marks the boundary between the extensors number 2 and the flexors number 3. So let's go ahead and get some of these guys drawn in here. How's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good. I got this new sketchbook. I was using just a bunch of newsprint that I've had laying around for years, but it's a pain in the ass to just kind of be flipping through that while trying to draw. So we're just going to use a sketchbook like a normal human being. Oh yeah, I was supposed to put on some music. I'll put on some music in a second. Let me get this whole page sketched out real quick. I'm feeling pretty good today, though. I had a yerba mate. Didn't work out today. Gonna work out later. Gonna work out later, and but yeah, I feel nice and awake. It took me a little bit to get up there. I was getting kind of worried about that. I was like, oh no, am I getting like old, dude? Like, cause I've been working out a lot. Uh-oh, is this? Yes, it is. I knew this was gonna happen. Oh well. I don't know what to tell you guys. The setting up for this show is hard. Cause hold up. We're just going for it, man. You know, like we're just check. We're just, you know, we're just making this show. We're just doing the damn thing. So it's, you know, it's not the most professional looking shit. I know that, especially by YouTube standards, but we're just going for it, man. But there's definitely going to be a gigantic shadow, which is actually kind of getting annoying. Let's get, hey, there we go. There we go. Now we're in business. This is a microphone that was in the way. I might have to get one of those like lapel mics, but I'm kind of waiting to do that. Again, right? Like I'm just trying to like the focus of this is just like recording every day, warming up every day. Okay. You know, we'll get professional looking stuff eventually, but I don't want to be one of those people that goes out and buys all this equipment, does it for like 2 weeks, and then it's like, actually, I don't like this at all, or like you get lazy. So I'm just like, let me just focus on getting this crap done. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna go ahead and name. So this is your ulna. This is your break, or this is your break or your extensors. No, I guess no. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So your ulna would be like right here, right? Because it's the bone. So the bone is your ulna. I'm gonna write bone. This is your break once again. This is your extensors, number 2. And then these are your flexors, which I didn't warm any of these up before drawing, so hopefully I'm not in too much pain later. I shouldn't even said that. I'll be alright. I do want to talk bone, since we're talking about bones. They finally posted that Jeff Smith documentary that I remember seeing this years ago when I was in when I was like first getting into comics. I remember it being like a thing that I think you had to buy it like on DVD. Okay. Sorry about that. I really had to kind of concentrate there. Okay, so, and I'll get back to talking about bone in a second. I'm going to write bone so we can swingle back to that. This is pretty complicated crap right here, so let me just focus in on that. Cool. So again, ulna. Let's see. This is our break. 2 is our extensor. 3 flexors. Down here we have this kind of cool little thing here, so I'm just going to draw it. I guess this is kind of showing this like the twisting motion that happens with these arm muscles, right? Like everything's kind of twisting and kind of building into each other. Okay. I think we might be able to fit this lady in here. Let's I think I can fit like most of it. Let's see what happens. I hate poses like this. People would make these poses in figure drawing. I'd want to break my pencil. I'd be like, God damn it. I gotta draw some stupid lady laying down. It's like the hardest thing to draw. I hate that. And that's always when you can tell the figure model is like, oh, I'm tired. If you earned it, if you've been doing like crazy, you know, twisty poses, a lot of standing poses, I ain't mad at it. The best figure models, they know how to kind of use it sparingly. But there ain't nothing worse than when you get someone in there that's like male or female, where they're just laying down the whole time. You're like, bro, what are you doing? You son of a B word. All right, that was very tough, that pose. There's a ink drawing of my friend Kevin in this sketchbook. Okay, we got some words. All right, figure 1 is a simplified version above. So figure 1, simplified version of this, I guess. Below, more precisely, the rear wall of the armpit slides between the two main arm muscles, the biceps and the triceps. That's your bicep, by the way. I could not remember what that was called for the life of me yesterday, and it was very embarrassing. So if you see that video, just leave a little comment that's like, hey dummy, it's called a bicep. I could not remember. I kept calling it a deltoid, and I was like, I know that's wrong. I know that can't possibly be right. I guess if we were to break down the arm into an equation, it'd be like circle, cylinder, circle, cylinder. Like circle, cylinder, circle, cylinder. I have stained currently stuck in my head right now. I was watching, let's talk about bone, and then we'll talk about stained and why they're stuck in my head. But the Bone documentary, really good. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on YouTube now. But I remember for like the longest time it was not available unless you like bought like a DVD version of it. Which, shout out to them. I mean, it like gets you money. But I was like, I don't even have a DVD player. This was like right around the time when like laptops stopped coming with DVD players like attached to them. I don't think I'll be able to fit this in here, but we got enough here to work off of. So I'm just going to start with this guy, this last guy that I just did. But awesome documentary, very it's certainly like puff piece-ish, but it's like couldn't be puffing up a nicer guy. Jeff Smith is the man. Had the pleasure of meeting him very early on when I started making comics. He was very nice. Couldn't have been a kinder guy. Awesome dude. This should be longer. There we go. But yeah, it just kind of just goes through just like humble beginnings, you know, starting a newspaper strip, doing Thorn daily, and how that like really just like helped him understand like how to make comics. Apparently he was doing a lot of those Thorns just straight ink, like no pencils, which is insane. I probably should have put these on their own piece of paper, because these are pretty intense hands. Very, very motivating though. But I do like that they're real. You know, everybody that they interview, and it's like, yeah, dude, doing comics is friggin' brutal. It's not easy. And I'm going through that right now at Nosebleed. I'm like, oh, thank God, these guys are, you know. They're being real, man. This shit is not easy, bro. I gotta remember to make everything bigger. And I'm not saying that to like complain or anything. I just like that they could have like left all that out, you know? They could have been like, no man, like this shit rules. We're rock stars. We get our books sell out. You know, I bought my first house. You know, they could have did that. But I like that they're like, yeah, it's kind of rough. So I'm gonna try to keep all of this drawing in this construction that I've already laid out here. Something I'm kind of trying to work on. But just very inspirational. I really need to finish Bone. I just like Razzle better because it's like just more. It's just more in my wheelhouse of like stuff that I like. You know, I don't really care about like nights and going on journeys. Just never really been my, like, couldn't care less about like the Lord of the Rings. You know, not knocking it. I'm sure it's great, and I've tried watching it, but I'm like, yeah, I don't really care about dragons. Just I feel bad because I know I'm missing out on like a lot of entertainment. There we go. But yeah, I just don't care about dragons, and I like swords. I like swords more than guns. But I always like I love a good like modern day take on that. Like, you know, like Highlander. Really loved Highlander, even though that movie kind of sucks. But I love the idea that there's just immortals walking around in the 80s and they can like sense each other and then they have to fight. Like, it's like, I'm like, this is the coolest idea of all time. I'm like sure they like stole this from like Wicked City. I don't know where that idea for Highlander came from, but I'm like, this is some anime shit right here. I think somebody saw Wicked City or Demon City and was like, you know what, we could do that. Get Sean Connery. That movie is a strange one, but it's like it can be done good. I think there's more. I think there's more Highlanders, but I've only seen like the first one. I wrote like a kind of like my own take of Highlander. And I really want to do it one day, but I got to get better at like sword poses. Drawing someone holding a sword is really freaking hard. But I have this one samurai fighting book. Okay, so sorry. Biceps is equals 1. 2 equals triceps. But I love that stuff. I love a modern take with dudes with swords. Like Wicked City is great, Demon City is great. Where you're just like, you know, this guy's got a sword for some odd reason. You know, and no one's just like, hey, why do you have a sword? Everyone's kind of just like, alright, whatever. I think more so in Highlander. They're supposed to be remaking it with Henry Cavill. Who he was, you know, he's pretty good in The Witcher. I didn't like hate The Witcher, so that's something. I watched most of The Witcher. I didn't like that. They just kind of started to make, anytime there's a character that's like dark and brooding, and then they're like, but he's still a man and he still can fall in love. I'm like, don't do that. That's why Berserk rules so much, because it's like he was in love with Casca, horrible stuff happened, and they, as far as I know, as far as I've read, like they've never given him another like love interest. You know, like he basically was just like, that's the only girl I love. Some horrible stuff happened. I think I'm good on love. I think I'm just going to be the darkest guy on the planet. And I think that's kind of like what The Witcher was going for. It's like, yeah, man, just keep it dark. Like, I don't need to watch a guy like grunt over a woman. It's just kind of weird. Like a guy that's like a tough guy with swords and has been killing people. Like, I don't really want to see him like slowly kiss a woman. You know what I mean? I'm just like, this is weird. I don't want to see like intimacy and you know what I mean? It's just like, I just watched this guy kill a goblin. I don't want to see him, you know, make love to a lady. I don't want to see him make love at all. Like, I just want to see him grunt, kill stuff, and then, you know, drink mead. Not even on like some like manly stuff. It's just like, it's just weird. It's just a weird tone shift, and you're just like it feels like you're being kind of like voyeuristic. You know, it's like, I don't really want to see this. Like, let this guy go. Can we go off camera? You know? That probably sounds really weird, but it's just, I just always hate that happens in these shows. It's like, she's like, would you save a kiss for a lady? He's like, yes. And then they're like slow kissing, and you're like, oh, dude, come on, man. Go kill another dragon, please, for the love of God. Or maybe it's just, I just don't want to see Henry Cavill making out with people. Or anyone of that. Well, you know, the other thing really is that this was back in the day when like toothpaste wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? So I'm just like imagining, I'm just like, there's no way anybody's breath smells remotely good. And you're trying to tell me people back then are making out? Like, homies never brushed his teeth. Why would the man need to brush his teeth? All he's good at is killing. And now he's just like open mouth kissing some lady. You're like, oh, bro, like both of y'all like gross. The only person that's ever addressed that is Harka Vagrant by what's her name? Kate, I forget her name. But she's the only person that was ever like somebody was about to make out in one of those like old Victorian comics, and one of the characters is just like says something about someone's breath stinking or something like that. And I was like, yes, finally, someone said something about this. This is disgusting. I'll watch this. Okay. Give me 1 second. I think I'm going to invest in a mini fridge for the studio. Okay. There we go. Whew, I was getting worried. It's like, what the hell's going on? All right, I'm going to start with this hand, because hands are kind of tripping me up today. The inside of the arm It's something that I draw so much on my characters for some odd reason. I always draw them doing a pose where you're seeing the inside of the arm. And I don't know why I always make myself do it, because I'm like, nobody else really does that. Because there's nothing going on here. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's just not an interesting part of the arm to really be focusing on. Like, it's kind of why you see more people drawing like the forearm and everything, because there's stuff going on there that you can like accentuate. But on this inside, man, there's like nothing going on there. That's why you always see the outside of like Hellboy's arm. You know, you never see the inside. Okay, so now we're going to draw that over here. Again, we've got this kind of what I call like the stair set. Oh shit, I drew. Cool. Alright, so let's get this in here. I do like this though. I do like this little, this would be like your flexor, I guess. No, flexor. This is your extensor. No, flexor, extensor. So I do like that you can just kind of cut it in half, or not even cut it in half, like almost like this is like 1/3. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's get this guy in here. More torso practice. And then it seems again for that torso, or I'm sorry, for the trap. Oh my god, tricep. You can again kind of do a little bit of bump out, cut this part in half again. Okay. This thing has like changed my life. Learning that, you know, the arm is really like connected to the rib cage part. Like I used to just try to fit all of this into this for some odd reason, and learning that it's like this thing that's like attached to like the outside has really helped out a lot. So it just kind of goes to show you, man, like if stuff's looking wonky and weird, go back and review. Because that's all this is, man. This is just a review. Like, you gotta kind of, every now and then, I don't know, I'm not gonna say that you have to. I'm just gonna say, for me, personally, like, I need to do that every now and then. Like, especially just when I just notice, like, my drawings are just, like, not coming out how I want them to look. I'm like, okay, I think we need to go review anatomy, unfortunately, and we have to go, you know, dig back in, because I'm starting to make some really weird decisions here. Okay. Some drawings from the other day from the bar. Alright, we're almost at the end of the arm section. Oh my god, no we're not. So we got a lot of pages. Alright, so the rotation of the hand involves the whole arm. So that's kind of what we were saying the other day. Where, like, you see this, like, your whole arm moves with wherever your hand's going. So this is called, like, supination, where it's like, think like you're holding a bowl of soup. Pronation, it's just, I don't know. It's the opposite. Alright, so let's get these in. I remember having to learn pronation and supination, and it was just kind of like, yeah, I think I'm okay. I don't think I need to really concentrate on that. There's a reason why I took like an anatomy drawing class, and they really harped on that when we got to this part of the body. And I just was like, all right, guys, enough. Like, soup, I get it. Soup, pro, get it. Totally understand. Got it. And then I'd go home and draw the arm doing like the wrong thing and be like, what the hell? This is your break. And kind of how it like slaps on top. Let's get this guy in. Some of these. And then one more little arm. So we've got kind of like triangle, cylinder, another triangle. This, I would say like, I guess like rectangle, and then cylinder on top of that, right? Let's not forget to draw in our square. So like that. That. Shit. All right, so we've got about 7 minutes left. Let's see if we can get through. Oof, I don't know if we'll be able to get through. page 69, which is about pronation. But we'll try. If it runs a little bit longer than an hour, that's okay. So remember that the ulna stays on the little finger side. So your ulna, that bone, it's always going where your little pinky's going. So remember that the ulna stays on the little finger side of the forearm all the way to the wrist. Whereas on the thumb side, it is the group of brachioradialis and the first radial muscles, number 1, that marks the separation between the extensors, number 2, and the flexors, number 3. So I'm just going to write ulna follows the pinky, thumb side equals break, extensors plus flexors. Okay. Let's try and get some of this in here. And here we have more of that. Kind of showing you that things kind of just wrap around each other. Which is kind of cool because I'm pretty sure later on, sorry, my ear's itching. You can kind of get into just kind of maybe making up some of your muscles once you kind of figure out that everything just kind of wraps around each other. Yeah, we're definitely going to finish this page. So this video is going to probably be like an hour and 7 minutes long, but that's okay. All right. I'm going to start here. Then as you can see, we've got the bicep kind of coming in here. Then we've got that tricep. And again, you're really only seeing, most part, 2 to 3 of those knuckles. So it's kind of like, it's kind of a nice little treat for yourself when you have to draw hands, just to kind of remember, like, okay, I don't have to draw all 5 phalanges, you know? Whew, my neck's killing me. Okay. Got that bone. Okay. Let's get this guy in here. This is a... This feels like a very, I forget the guy's name, so don't worry about it. Bridgman. This feels like a very Bridgman drawing. So yesterday, after we did some of these forearm drawing practices, I actually had to go draw a commission, and I was so excited because I was like, yes, dude, I'm finally like placing the brachioradialis in the right places. Like, oh my god, I'm like constructing these arms immaculately. Like just crushing it, right? Like, you know, like just feeling like, oh, finally this crap is making sense again. And then I realized I had to like cover all of it up with armor. I was drawing Apocalypse. I was like, god dang it. I forgot Apocalypse has like Mega Man arms, you know, where he's just got rounded armor on top of like all the cool parts of the muscles. So I was like, god dang it. Oh well. But at least underneath those muscles, everything is set up nicely. Okay. That was very funny. I was just like, of course. But again, like, you know, after this video series is done, we're going to jump right into Dynamic Folds, the other Morpho book. And so at least we'll be like, okay, well, at least we're going to know what's going on underneath all the clothing that we're going to be drawing. You know what I mean? Like, at least we're not just going to be like kind of like winging it. Because especially for stuff like all my stuff, it's just characters that are clothed. And then the commissions are just bros with armor. But hey, whatever, man. I'm trying to become the best. At what I do. And I don't want MFers to be like, this guy sucks at drawing. Like, nah, son. My stuff's airtight. Alright. I think we pretty much got it. We don't need to do this last little guy. But, great day today. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to pick up on page 70 tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see y'all then. We got how many more pages of arms and hands to do? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more pages till we get to the lower limb, and we'll be done with our first Morpho book. Alright, see you guys later.